it's not all Carson. I know that there's so much going on, but it just seems that it's all not working. Put it all together, and something needs to be changed, Ron. If so, what is that, do you think?
Yeah, you clearly said a lot of things aren't working right now, and it's certainly very disappointing. And we all know, not only in Philadelphia, but every other NFL city, the quarterback, when the team wins, gets too much credit, and when the team loses, they get too much blame. But quite honestly, Carson is not playing well. I'm actually sitting in my office looking at the offensive game tape right now, and clearly there were some opportunities to make plays. He did not make them. In the NFL, it's about repetitive pinpoint accuracy, and Carson just isn't playing at that level right now. I called the game last night for Westwood 1,
Yep.
And after the first 5 series, when the Eagles went 3 and out, I was thankful there were no fans in the stands for Carson Wentz, because I've heard the wrath of 70,000 people. That boo sound still resonates in my ears sometimes. He would have been run out of the stadium. I mean, he was not playing good football. The tape validates that, and it's just a quarterback that is struggling now with his rhythm. I can't speak to how he's handling everything mentally, but his performance on the field right now is not very good. He's not getting help from his receiving core. Seattle, not a great defense, but they weren't afraid to, get pressed man-to-man and force Carson to make those very accurate throws, and he wasn't, and there was no separation.
Well, the concept of making plays, the phrase making plays, Ron, connotes sometimes that the quarterback, something's not there, and he's got to make the play. The making of plays, though, sometimes is the throw that's directly in front of him that has been schemed open by the staff that constantly is pounding into him. Just keep it simple. And he doesn't do that. Why? How does that happen?
I use the term, and you're around your guys at Kurt Warner and guys like that, and I know how they feel. In fact, I spoke to Dick Vermeil this morning at length to kind of get his feelings on things. And as quarterbacks and maybe quarterback coaches, we use the term seeing the field with clarity.
Right.
In other words, in pre-snap look, you look at the defense, the ball is snapped, it changes, and you're seeing it almost in slow motion. And by the time that back foot hits, you know where to go with the football by the design of your offensive scheme against a particular defense. And right now, Carson is just not decoding that defense quick enough. He's been sacked now 46 times. I mean, and this is a mobile quarterback. So clearly, when he stands back there, patting the football, holding on to the football, getting into that action figure stance where he wants to run with the football, it just shows me he's not seeing people open when they do get open. And as I said, this receiving core has not been great, but there have been some opportunities where he had a chance to make some plays and just missed them.
Ron Jaworski here on the Rich Eisen Show. Look, it's money. That's the only reason why they're keeping him in there, right? I mean, I don't like saying things so definitively when I'm not literally boots on the ground and having my phones burning up. But I can't imagine Jalen Hurts is so unusable that they just don't even for a spark or just do something and take Wentz off the field and let him just gather himself. Why are they continuing to just stick with the program here in your estimation?
I would think in a normal year, I would agree with you, Rich. This is not a normal year by any stretch of the imagination because of the COVID pandemic and the time lost by players and coaches, and particularly a rookie quarterback. No advantage of the off season of learning an offense, no preseason games, no training camp. I think it would almost be unfair to put Jalen Hurts in the game. And I think the guy's got talent. That's not the question. But sometimes I've seen young quarterbacks be thrust into having to play, and it damages them for the long term. And I also think Carson Wentz still possesses tremendous athleticism, ability to play the position. Last year at the end of the season, he carried the football team. After they got, trounced down in Miami, he comes back and they win 4 games with a makeshift offensive line and, guys from the practice squad as wide receivers. He carried the team. So he does have that ability. I can't speak to exactly what has happened, but, boy, there's just a lack of confidence right now. His 2 big plays yesterday were runs. It's almost like he's looking to run, get into the game that way, and long-term, that's not healthy for a quarterback.
So did you ever have, Ron, a moment where confidence was an issue for you?
I think every quarterback at one time, Rich, goes through a slump. where the ball's just not going where you want it to go. Your reads aren't quite as sharp as you want them to be, and you have to work your way through it. You have to fight your way through it, and the coach has to help you fight your way through it and set you up for success. And right now, none of those things are working right now. I don't see the play design where they're helping him. Their inability to focus on the running game when you got a running back in Miles Sanders averaging 5.7 yards per touch. This team is throwing at an alarming rate of 67%. Too pass happy without the weapons to play that style of football. The changes on the offensive line, although I will say, I'm looking at this tape, the offensive line, did a real good job yesterday. That wasn't the main issue. So as a quarterback, you have to work through it. There are slumps. Every quarterback goes through it. But this really, and I hate to say it because I'm a Carson fan,
right.
It's been an 11-game slump. He has not played a game well yet. There's been some spurts of maybe the Wentz of 2017, but consistently hasn't been there for 4 quarters or 60 minutes of a game. So he is in a deep slump.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.